I'm Jamie with 3littlegoats.com. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I make soaping videos every single Saturday as well as some random Wednesday videos scattered throughout the month. And if you've been around for a while, welcome back. I'm glad to see you as always. So this week we are testing out some molds. I used to make a lot of melt and pour 3D soaps, so I had 3D printed a lot of different molds and cast them in silicone, and they worked great for melt and pour soap. So today I am testing out my sorting hat soap to see how well it works in cold process soap. Spoiler alert, doesn't go so well, but I'm okay with that because it forced me to kind of think outside the box literally and come up with a new design that I'll be testing hopefully here shortly. But for now, I'm going to take you on this testing journey and show you just how bad it actually turned out. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, let me get my gloves on. Alright y'all, so we are doing something a little bit different today. I like to mix it up. I did some wax melts a few weeks ago with Harry Potter crests, and so today I decided I'm going to see how my big sorting hats do with some cold process soap. I usually use melt and pour with these molds, but I don't want to deal with melt and pour anymore. It's too humid here. I've had too many issues with it sweating, so I want to go straight to just all cold process soaps. So I'm doing a small test batch. I'm going to be doing some teeny tiny sorting hats for a upcoming soap that I'm going to be doing as like a topper for them, and then some larger soaps, larger sorting hats as well, depending on how much soap I have. Will depend on how many I'm doing. I've already mixed my oils, and I've actually just added in chocolate brown mica powder straight to my oils because I'm not separating this batch into anything, and because I'm using Tuscan leather, which has a pretty high vanilla content. It's gonna brown the soaps anyway, so I figured this would be the great time to test this fragrance with these soaps because it's a brown kind of day, I guess. So it's a very small batch, so hopefully things go as anticipated. So let me get this out of the way. And I've got all of my additives already added in here as well. So we're going to just pour this in. And because my big stick blender is probably a little bit excessive, I'm going to use my little teeny tiny blender and hope that I don't get too many air bubbles. So we will see. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's still very thin, which is good. Might need to actually get my other mold out as well. Now, I'm not concerned of overflowing or anything like that, just because there's a piece of soap taken. Alright, get off of there. So this is still pretty runny, which is kind of what I want. I'm not concerned about making a big mess, but I will, of course, make a big mess. Maybe we'll just fill her in with a little bit of pipette action, because now my only concern with these soaps is the top of the hat has an undercut on it, which means they can be kind of difficult to get out of the mold. That's why I always use melt and pour with it, because melt and pour, of course, hardens up fairly quickly. So it's just easier to use the mold with that. So I'm using a very hard recipe today. So I'm hoping if I let them sit for a day or two, they should theoretically come out fairly easy. That's just in theory. I'm just going to give these a little tap and spritz them down. And see if I can move these out of the way without making a giant mess. Okay, score one for me. Alrighty, so we've got the little molds all nice and filled, so let's see about getting these bigger molds filled now that my mess is nice and cleaned up. I might actually need to get my other mold out. I'm just going to give these a good tap. So we're just going to put the rest in this runoff mold that I use. When I have excess soap, I just keep a little silicone mold like this around. That way I can just pop the rest in there and call it a day. So I am going to let these sit probably 2 days. We're going to give them 2 days. And hopefully when I come back, we'll be able to pop them out of the mold. All right, y'all, it is, well, it's not soap cutting day. It is soap unmolding day. So we will see how these turned out. I did have a lot of soda ash. I know why I had soda ash. I'll be able to fix it next time, but let's check the Doug Trio out because I know that one's going to unmold the easiest, maybe. Might need to let them hang out for a day or two. It did crack, but I think that's because when I tested it, I kind of pulled it apart a little too soon yesterday. But it came out pretty clean. Not thrilled with the color. We'll definitely have to probably just do a brown oxide because I'm not loving the color right now. It's more of a greenish brown than a brown. And the sorting hat is old and worn and brown, not green brown. So let's see if I can get this guy out. Very carefully. Alright, so his hat top fell off. It is in here, which we're going to just use the exact knife to kind of get out of there. That's fine. That's fine. I may have to tweak my recipe just a little bit as well, because these are still pretty soft. And with it being a 3D mold, it's not going to cure like in a loaf mold. And then we need to cut these down a little bit. So this one is a no-go as well. We ripped his poor head off. Okay. And I know why this one came out. Because this one is the newer mold that I just made. And I didn't cut it all the way down to where his head is. Let's see if we can get the remainder out of here. Let's pull him out. And him. Go figure, the one that did actually turn out is the one that I unmolded during off camera. So this is what they're supposed to look like when they are unmolded. This one turned out pretty well. The other one's not so much. Alright, so I didn't like how they turned out. I didn't like the color. They're like me. I don't like the color. So I'm remixing the batch and I'm using brown oxide now. Same process as I just did that you just see me do. And now I'm just trying to bring this to a nice light trace. Alrighty, so we've got our little molds ready to go. I also took my X-Acto knife and just kind of cut a little slit in here just to make them a little bit easier to get out. I did that on all of them, so hopefully that helps. Yeah, this is much thicker. Let's make a big old mess. That's what popsicle sticks are for, though. It's a great thing about this mold is if I over pour in one, I can just kind of sloop it into the other. Perfect. I'm just going to work that in. I'm not worried about over pour. That can be cleaned up after. And yes, I know I should definitely be wearing gloves right now, but it was a spur of the moment thing. Just going to move that out of the way. And then I've got some of my big sorting hats here as well. And I noticed they didn't get into a big old mess. They didn't get into the very bottom crevice the last time I made them. So I'm pouring. I'm gonna put some gloves on. Hold on. I'm pouring and then I'm just going to give it a good beating on the table just to make sure I'm in all the little cracks and crevices. Other side. Alright, a little smack. I'm going to spritz everything down with rubbing alcohol. I am liking the colors a lot better. Hopefully everything comes out as it's supposed to. So I'm going to let these cure for probably another 2 days. And I'll bring you back when they are ready to unmold. Hopefully. Alright, attempt 2. So I did get a little bit of soda ash again, but again, not a big deal. I'm going to try to unmold the little guy first. Let's see if I can get him. I got him out. He definitely needs some cleaning up because when I made the mold, I didn't think about where his face was going to be. But here he is. Okay, so this recipe may work a little bit better. I tried to take the Dough Trios out, Yesterday they definitely weren't ready, so they cracked a little bit. But there's those guys. And then, ooh, do I want to? I don't even know if I want to attempt to take these. I'm so scared I'm going to ruin it. Oh, okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Just gonna work the little excess soaps around the edges off. Now I ripped his head off again. Oh, but his face is a lot better. So I gotta clean his head out. Again, I just didn't cut far enough down on the mold. So I gotta clean him out. It's okay. It's okay. These are definitely a lot better for melt and pour. I can say that right now. But when I designed them, I wasn't designing them for cold process. I was designing them for melt and pour. And I just watched me rip the head off of him too. Poor sorting hat. He doesn't have any heads. I mean, I'm sure if I can get the tip of it out, I could totally kind of readjust it and kind of mold it onto it. But so far, not so much. So we'll try to fix him here shortly. Alright. Moment of truth, the little guys. I don't think they're going to come out either. And I let them set for 3 days. I just think cold process soap, no matter how hard of a recipe, it's too fragile. Let's see. Ooh, we got him out. He needs a little cleanup. And he's teeny tiny and adorable. Just focus. Are we focused? That's why I'm doing this though, to see which molds I can salvage, which ones I don't need anymore, which ones I need to redesign. Hey, he's a good one. We'll keep him. But I have been working. Yeah, I already cracked those. All right, we're done with those. I have been working on a new design. Instead of doing, so what I would usually do when I would make my cold process or my melt and pour soap molds, which are these, I would 3D print my actual model and then I would cast it in silicone. And that way I would have the mold in soap. I was playing around with my 3D design software and I attempted to make this, which I already broke it because I didn't make the insets small enough to fit in the actual holes. But ideally, I won't need the silicone anymore. I would just have this. I could pour my soap into here, let it harden, and then I wouldn't have to worry about trying to pull it out because I could just take it apart. So maybe this will work. I'll have to 3D print another one because like I said, I broke it and I didn't put enough infill in it, so there is some holes, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there are some holes in the actual design because there's not enough infill to hold up the top layers. So I can get rid of some of the extra bulk, I know that now, and just put a little bit more infill, make my insets a little bit smaller so they'll fit inside each other, and I think we'll have a winner. I am going to probably make this a whole separate video testing these out in a few weeks because it takes a while for these to print. And so I think, yeah, we're going to set these aside and we're going to make that a separate video and see how that goes. So I will see you guys in the outro. So that is what I've got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? We put out new videos every single week, sometimes twice a week, if I'm feeling spunky. And like I said, sometimes things don't go as planned. My Harry Potter crest molds are perfect for wax melts. Maybe I will try to do some wax melts with the little sorting hat molds. Maybe that will work. We will have to bring this back to a whole nother video in the future. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see me kind of explore this 3D mold with cold process soap making scenario. And I've 3D printed some other soap things that I am very excited to show in the next few weeks as well. So be sure to subscribe for that, because they're not 3D molds, but they're really neat, and I'm very excited about it. So be sure to subscribe for those videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!